Hi guys, it's Mary McIntyre. It's the 12th of December and at 3:30 this afternoon the International Space Station is going to transit the top corner of the moon. The moon today is still a waxing crescent and the ISS is going to actually transit the unlit part of the moon. So this is going to be an interesting challenge because it's a daytime transit, although by that time we're going to have a very low sun and a little bit of twilight. I've done this in bright sunshine and astonishingly actually picked it up, so we should be able to get it today. The only thing that's bothering me is that a crescent moon is quite often behind the trees from this point, and I lost my settings on Stellarium with the panoramic picture from here, so plus the skyline has changed quite a lot since the tornado pulled some trees down, so I need to redo that. Not going to have time to do that today, so I'll just fingers crossed, hope for the best, and if the moon isn't in the right place I might have to quickly set up my portable mount. So as always, just using the William Optics 70mm refractor because that does a really cracking job of solar transits and lunar transits as well. So yeah, I'll be doing that and using the ASI 120 on a high frame rate to capture a video and then extract the frames, the same way that I always do when I do an ISS transit. I did a kind of mini tutorial on how to do this recently, so I'll pop a link to that video in the description box. So I've got a couple of hours yet. I just wanted to get the telescope out and ready, so I'm going to go and do some Christmas stuff and then I'll be back in a couple of hours. So 45 minutes to go, the moon has now cleared the house. Interestingly, I just went on the web to check the transit time and on my laptop it is saying that it's going to just miss the moon from here, but on my phone it's saying that it's going to transit. So I have absolutely no idea if I'm going to get this, but when I did the daytime transit before, I was able to see the ISS against the background sky, so my plan is to get the upper part of the moon in the bottom of the shot. If it misses, then I'll be able to get something. If yeah, I don't know really with the field of view whether it's going to be possible for that to happen, but I'll give it a go. So hopefully if the moon is in the bottom corner, I've got a bit of sky above it. Even if the ISS doesn't transit the moon, I may just get a daytime ISS shot, so fingers crossed. It's hard to see when I'm recording the screen, but this is just to give you an idea of what the field of view is like with the William Optics refractor. Sorry, there's an aeroplane going over. The William Optics refractor and the ASI 120 with no Barlow or anything in, so you can't quite get the whole moon in. So my plan is to kind of have this part of the moon down on the bottom edge, so if it is a kind of near miss and it doesn't quite transit the disk, then I'll still get the ISS. If it does transit the way it looks on my phone, it's going to go across this unlit part anyway, so whatever I get, it's going to be the ISS against a dark background rather than crossing the illuminated bit of the moon. So I may not get anything at all, but that's just the part of the fun of doing these. It's a real challenge, and just any slight modifications to the orbit of the ISS can mean that you get a complete miss. So it's why it's nerve-wracking, exciting, challenging, and sometimes incredibly frustrating. Like 10 minutes ago, the entire sky suddenly filled with clouds. I was like, don't you dare. So currently clear. I've got 25 minutes to go, so I'm yeah, just gonna go back inside in the warm for 15 minutes so I'm not frozen when this happens. 3 minutes to go. The cloud is looking a bit iffy. Currently clear where the moon is, but please stay away, cloud, just for 2 more minutes. Okay, there's 30 seconds to go. I'm going to start recording in a few seconds, just in case. Okay, that's 20 seconds before. I always err on the side of caution just in case it comes a bit faster. There's a lot of cloud heading towards the moon. Oh, I thought I saw something, but it's a bit of grot on my computer screen. Come on. If it misses, I don't know how far away it will be. Oh, I didn't see anything, and it's... Oh, there it is! Oh my god, I got it! I got it! Oh yes! And it actually crossed some of the illuminated part as well. Oh my god! I don't know how clear it will be because there's a lot of cloud, but I definitely saw it. Fantastic! I was honestly thinking I was going to not get that then. That's so cool! Can't wait to go and have a look what I've got. So here are the final results. I basically took the video and ran it through PIPP and extracted the individual frames exactly the way that I showed you in my tutorial that I did earlier this year. And then I just took the 88 frames that had the space station in them and stacked them using StarStaX using the lighten mode. Once I'd stacked the image, I did a little bit of sharpening in focus magic because basically it looks like a giant blob of jelly. So the thin cloud, daytime moon, just, the fact that I got it at all is still pretty cool. I'm going to just show you some close-up crops of this just so you can see that every few frames you can actually see the shape of the space station. It's with atmospheric conditions, the fact the moon was above the house and all of that stuff meant that this was not going to be ever a prize-winning image, but I'm still really pleased with it. So I'm just going to show you a few crops of that stacked image. There are a few frames where it went across the illuminated section, but zooming in on that is pretty appalling. So that's all I'm going to do about that. It's just not worth doing anything more with. But I really like this crop because you can see the craters and obviously it just looks like a lunar transit. When you see just the final two crops, it is just basically against the background sky essentially. I can still remember the very first time I saw a photograph of the space station transiting the sun, and I was immediately thinking this has to be fake. But actually, as I demonstrated in my tutorial, it's possible to do this with fairly small telescope if you've got a high frame rate camera. And the fact that I've got this at all still blows my mind, even though I've done quite a few of these now. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one.